Welcome back to the KC Sports Meme podcast. This is Megatron, and I'm joined by Marvin and Tony. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you, Megatron?
Pretty good. A lot of good sports this week.
Oh, for sure.
Marvin, how are you?
Pretty good.
There you go. I hope all the listeners are having a great day whenever you're listening to this. We've got a really good show lined up. Like I said, ton of great sports this week. We'll talk about an overall sports recap. We'll go through some Royals talk, really focusing on the Royals, including Alex Gordon's retirement. We'll bring up a few of the key games in the NFL from the past week. Then we'll do a Chiefs recap. And then to close it out, we'll talk about what to look forward to going into week 3, both as an NFL fan and as a Chiefs fan. But before we get into things like I did last week, I just want to take a quick minute to talk about a company that actually reached out to us. Phoenix is a company that sells supplements, gear, apparel, and ever since they reached out to us earlier on this year, up to today, I use at least one of their products pretty much every day. And I've never been disappointed with their customer service or with their products. One of my personal favorites being their Super Greens, which I'm actually drinking right now while we're recording this. If you would like to buy something from their site, it is www.fnxfit.com. So www.phoenixfit.com. And if you use promo code FNXKCSM, you'll get 15% off your purchase. So jumping right into things, let's go through an overall sports recap. One of the things I don't have a ton on, I wish we would have went over this a little bit more. But college football started back big time with the SEC. A lot of upsets, which, like I said, we won't really get into this very much. But Missouri was not one of those upsets. That was disappointing. They lost to Alabama 38-19. Not really surprising, but hopefully they'll get back on track. To the NBA, one of the big stories there, Doc Rivers got fired by the Clippers. That was kind of surprising, kind of not. I mean, he hasn't really done anything with that team, and he's had a lot of opportunities. But now it is Heat and Lakers going to the finals. That starts Wednesday night. That's tomorrow night as of this recording. What are y'all's prediction for that game? That's LeBron going against his former team.
I think Lakers are going to take game 1. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Lakers got this, and they're probably going to win the series.
How many games?
6.
Marvin, I have to debate you on that. Just watching a couple of the games, a couple, I guess, highlights, or watching even some game, quote, film, he's looking pretty good. Lakers, they're looking okay, but just looking at the Heat, they've stepped up. Jimmy Butler, you got all the guys on there, but seriously, I think Heat's got it.
How many games?
I'm good. Sorry, you go ahead.
I think we'll go 4-2.
Heat?
Yeah.
If you say so. Pretty sure the Lakers are going to win.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm
good either way, though.
Okay, here's the thing. Lakers are number 1, first seed. Miami would be the underdog.
But Miami was also the underdog against the Bucks, and they almost swept the Bucks. Really should have swept the Bucks. Took their foot off the gas once Giannis got hurt in that game. So he really should have swept the playoffs. I mean, I know they won in Game 6 of this last series, but and Lakers are a tough team. I think you got Butler, you got Hero, you got Robin, just all these guys. I'm picking Heat in 7. I think it's going to be a good series. I think it's going to be a long series. But yeah, I'm taking Heat.
I want Heat too, but I'm seeing the ref siding with LA on this one because of obvious reasons. So I got Lakers winning, but if I really had to choose, I want Heat to win, but Lakers are going to win 6.
Yeah, I can see that too. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. In NHL news, we got Tampa Bay Lightning winning in 6 games, winning the Stanley Cup. And it's kind of disappointing because I never really heard that much talk about hockey, even coming back to the playoffs, everything. I don't really know very many people, if any, that watch this game. With it being the finals, even people that are usually big hockey fans, me, myself included. Usually I love watching at least the finals, but yeah, no, I think NBA and NFL kind of took over sports world. That's what it seemed like from my perspective, anyways. And speaking of MLB playoffs, AL started.
Playoff time.
Yeah, AL started tonight. As of this recording, Tuesday night. National League will start tomorrow, Wednesday. All of AL Central went to the playoffs, except for Royals and Tigers. So
oh my,
yeah. So that was kind of disappointing. But going into playoffs, you got Dodgers, best overall 43-17 record. Rays, best in the AL and second best overall, 40-20 record. Tonight's games, again, as of recording this Tuesday night, Astros beat the Twins 4-1. White Sox beat Oakland 4-1. Rays beat Blue Jays 3-1. And Yankees completely crushed the Indians, going 12-3. What are your guys' predictions for this playoff?
Tony, you go first.
Well, you just look. Let's look at the Yankees lineup here. I mean, let's look at the first 3 guys: DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, and Hicks. Aaron Judge has really stepped up these past couple years, coming out with 50-plus home runs a couple years ago. And honestly, it's not just the lineup that the Yankees have. It's also the pitching staff. Garrett Cole, of course, signed with the Yankees this year. This game, this evening, he pitched 7 innings, 13 strikeouts. Cole is a strikeout pitcher. That's really going to be helpful for them. I believe they have Tanaka as well.
Yeah.
But that's my AL prediction to go to the World Series. NL, I got to pick my team, or my second favorite team, I should say. I'm going with my Dodgers. 43-17, the best record in the MLB, I believe. You got Kershaw, you got Buehler. We got all this pitching staff, and not only that, look at the lineup. Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner, Max Muncy. Guys that are big names that are going to step up, hit homers, hit the ball. And I think we're going to see one of the most, I guess you could say the two oldest, one of the 2 oldest teams come back. And I'd like to see that. I think that'd be interesting.
I got Marlins and Athletics World Series.
Ooh,
okay.
So that's different.
That was a joke, guys. I can't believe you bought that.
I did not, because I was like,
no, my real prediction is Dodgers and Indians.
Really?
Indians lose against the Yankees. I don't think they'll pull it off.
It's a 3-game series.
Yeah.
3-game series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
So there you go. One more win and they're done.
All right. That's fine. For my backup then, Yankees.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Actually, I have Dodgers Yankees World Series, but I'm picking Yankees to win it. They have that bat power there. I know Dodgers, like we said, best record and everything, but I still see the Yankees pulling it out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I do too. Again, like I said, you just look at their batting lineup. and it's insane. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see how that all plays out.
True. I really want Dodgers to win, though. They've lost back-to-back World Series the past few years. I think they really deserve a title, especially after the Astros cheated them out of one.
They do, right? Clayton Kershaw goes 2-3 times, loses every time. He's terrible in the World Series. And yeah, but if you think about it, Yankees, if they win, they go play either Tampa or Blue Jays. So that Tampa game would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true. Kershaw is definitely one of the better players that needs, that championship title, and like behind his name.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. I was just gonna say, if the Dodgers aren't careful, they're gonna become the Falcons of the MLB.
That's very true.
Don't want that.
No. So staying on the topic of MLB, Royals, Marvin, you were right, did not have a great season.
What do you know? If only someone could have predicted this.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I know, right?
Just over the last week, they were playing real good. Won the series against the Cardinals 2-1 and against the Tigers 3-1. Finished the season 26-34. Didn't have a winning record. Not a great season. Definitely played better towards the end. And I mean, I think that shows with Mondesi. He finished with the AL Player of the Week last week. So really, really good last part of the season. But I mean, dealing with different injuries or different players that you're kind of trying out. But I mean, that's what's tough with a 60-game season is, you have these young players that kind of take their time, and you don't have time for that. But.
Well, I do badmouth my Royals quite a bit, and I do that for jokes. But I watched a couple games for the first time in a while this past weekend, and I have to say I was actually impressed. They actually showed some promise. They actually sparked a little hope, I thought. I'm not saying we're going to win a World Series anytime soon, but I liked what I saw, and I think we're actually on the right path. So I'll give them that.
Yeah, we got a pretty good, solid team, young team with some of the guys. I mean, you got veteran players there. Veteran is in, Salvi, and then with Witt being in the program for a little while, you got some good guys in there to make a good team.
Would you guys propose another season like this, the length?
No.
I wouldn't mind a shorter season in some ways, but 60 was cool, to watch, and it makes it really competitive, but I think 60 is too short for baseball.
I think we go to 100.
120.
100 and 120, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say around there.
Because, I mean, you're going 162. I mean, you got, we could lose this game. We can afford this. We can, when you got, half of the, 80, 100 games, winning matters a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, for sure. And then seeing Gordon retire, it's something that I never wanted to happen, but at the same time, I mean, he's kind of getting up there. And if he was going to retire, I wanted to make sure that, it was with the Royals. I mean, 14 years with the Royals. Just some of the stats. I mean, he had almost 200 home runs. Lifetime with the Royals, he had a 257 batting average, which I think is pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it shows what kind of player he was. Because, I mean, I'll list some more of his stats here in just a second, but I mean, even when he wasn't playing like an all-star, even when he wasn't playing at his best, he was still a good player. Like, he was still reliable. 3-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove, 1-time Platinum Glove, 2015 World Champion. He started at third base and then moved to the outfield during his career. Like I said, he's always been a solid player. He had 1,361 games at left field, and he got a total of 102 outfield assists. Within that, a 20 outfield assist season, which is the franchise record. As I said, he's always been that solid player, and you hate to see him go, but man, it's been cool watching him play.
Yeah, he was my favorite Royal.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. He wasn't, like a Aaron Judge or a Giancarlo Stanton or Bryce Harper, but he was just, good, solid. He could come in and he was just that solid guy, which teams need. You're not going to always have a Harper or Mike Trout on your team. You need guys who can step up when it's necessary, and I'm really glad that he got at least one ring under his belt and got to experience that. So
for sure.
What's your favorite memory or moment of his during his career?
Tony, you go first.
I honestly cannot say.
Really?
I don't have one.
Bandwagon.
Ooh.
I don't. I have not watched a lot of Alex Gordon film, so I cannot say.
I got one.
What's yours?
Game 1 of the 2015 World Series. That game took like forever. It was 14 innings. Top of the 9th inning, I believe it was. Gordon kept us in the game.
Bottom of the 9th.
And we had bottom of the 9th? Did I say topped? Well, you know what I mean. And he kept us in the game. We ended up winning 5-4. That's my all-time favorite Gordon moment.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. That one's mine, too. Because,
like, if we didn't win that game, we may not have won the series.
Yeah, I mean, we were down 4-3 at that point. And I remember, like, I can remember it so vividly watching them put Familia in the game. Familia, for us, was like, or for them, was like our Greg Holland. Like, he comes in the game. I watched him throughout the playoffs. He comes in 9th inning, closes it out. It's over. Once he comes in the game, it's done. So Familia pitching, Alex Gordon comes up to the plate down by 1. I was like, I hate to say it, but I think the game's over. And just, I can still see that, straight over center field wall, home run. Yeah, no.
I lost it when that happened.
No, that was for sure my favorite Alex Gordon moment. Because that's all I think of when I think of, like, Alex Gordon, when I think of that World Series, when I think of Familia pitching, like, it's that moment. Yeah.
You sure you don't got one, Tony?
I do not.
You depress me.
I know.
All right. Jumping from baseball straight into football. As you guys probably know, it is our favorite topic here because that's what we spend the most time on. Let's look at some of the key games from this week. First up, the primetime game, Dolphins-Jaguars. For the Jaguars, nothing was really happening. Minshew didn't do anything. He threw an interception. Robinson had 2 rushing touchdowns. But for the Dolphins, I think Fitzmagic came out a little bit. I know it was versus the Jags, but I mean, he played a really great game, passing and rushing. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He went 18 for 20 on passing, only 2 incompletions. Dolphins led the game the whole way, and they got their first win of the season. They won 31-13. Another game from last week, a key game, was kind of surprising, but really not, especially from this season. That's the Bears-Falcons. Falcons giving up another lead. Bears undefeated. We'll talk about that more later on our last point. But Marvin, what do you think about that game?
Which one, the Bears or the Dolphins? Because I still got words on the Dolphins.
Okay, well, go Dolphins and then go to the Bears game.
All right. I do recall that last week I predicted some Fitzmagic, and you both said no. What's your thoughts on that, Tony? I told you Fitzmagic would show up, and you said no. That's not going to happen.
Marvin, he didn't show up for the past 2 weeks before, or they didn't do that well. I guess.
And from what I remember, you still picked the Jags to win.
That I might have said, but that's not what I meant.
That's what you said.
Okay, yeah, but yeah.
That's it. Just yeah.
Fitzmagic did good because the Jacksonville didn't do great. Minshew didn't do good.
Yeah.
The running game was okay. But I mean, Dolphins had it. It was just a night for the Dolphins. I mean, you're going to have NFL games like that. It's just, one team's going to just come out of nowhere.
Well, I watched that game, and I'll tell you that Minshew didn't look like himself. He got rattled. I think Fitzmagic got in his head. I got the Dolphins going to the playoffs, and they're going to beat the Ravens in the divisional round. And I'm looking at a Chiefs-Dolphins AFC Championship game. Chiefs win in overtime, and we get revenge for what they did to us back in '72. I see it. I just see it. It's going to be so
Marvin, so
I
wrong.
did not see it,
but you got to believe in Fitzmagic.
Not that much.
Is that forcing it too much? Oh, well, one can dream. I'm sure Dolphins fans would love to hear what I have to say about that. I mean, hey, if the Jaguars can go to the AFC Championship game randomly, Dolphins can too.
Just don't know about this season.
It's America. Not this season. Well, they did expand the playoff format, so there is a chance.
So
it's not a great
there's
one,
a chance.
but there is a chance. Yes, there is totally a chance. Still a chance.
Bears Falcons.
Yeah.
You guys depressed me. All right. Wait, that's mine. I guess I can talk about that. I'm so nice to the Bears and the Falcons. Sarcasm. All right. So I have my notes here. I got to make sure it's all picture perfect. All right. So Bears Falcons. The Bears won 30-26. Did you see that coming?
Yeah.
I did. Mitchell Trubisky started the game. He threw 13. Correction. He had. Let me start over. Mitchell Trubisky. He started the game. He had 22 passes. 13 were completions. He threw for 128 passing yards. Had 1 passing touchdown and 1 interception. It's about 50-50. It's not that terrible. As for his opponent, Matt Ryan, he had 38 passes, 19 completions, 238 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception, and 2 sacks. So that's a little better than Trubisky. So you know what the Bears do? They send in the 20-whatever MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. He has 16 completions on 29 passing attempts, so 3 better than Mr. What's-His-Face. 188 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 interception. Once again, Nick Foles proves that he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I said the exact same thing. I just said the exact same thing, just once in quotations and once not. Point I'm trying to make is Nick Foles is still the MVP, and Mitchell Trubisky lost his job to the great, legendary Nick Foles. Did I mention Nick Foles?
Let's just be real here. Nick Foles is a good quarterback. I mean, we've seen it.
No, hey, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. He is an elite quarterback.
So let's just look at this. Goes out, comes and wins a Super Bowl, gets replaced by a quarterback who should be benched this year, and Foles comes out 3-0, or on a team that's 3-0. Foles is just a good, solid quarterback. I can see the Bears going to the playoffs. Could they go to the Super Bowl? We'll see. But for one, they did play the Falcons. Falcons are terrible. 2 blown 15-plus point leads And we see, of course, the notable one back a couple years ago, 28-3. They just can't hold a lead, and that's a problem. And the Falcons got to work on that. Last in the division, 0-3, or tied last. So they got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good team there, too. And then even, like, with Trubisky, I mean, he was playing a, like, pretty good game. But then, I mean, he hurt his left shoulder, which he's already hurt before. Was it last season, I think? And then, yeah, Foles coming in and scoring 20 uncontested points. Falcons were not scoring. Like, yeah, the Falcons need to figure out something, and we'll talk about them a little bit more later, since they're in one of the primetime games coming up. But still, they need to do something with that, because that's not really on the offense. It's a lot on the defense, giving up that, but their defense should be able to put up with that.
But it's True. The Falcons. Are you really surprised that they did what they did?
I think one question we didn't ask is Matt Ryan overrated? Is he done? I mean,
yes.
He hasn't really done anything since the Super Bowl, and I think that threw him off. Fire him, the Falcons.
He's never
next couple of drafts. I'm looking for a quarterback.
Yeah,
but he's never been in the Super Bowl.
Matt Ryan has been in the Super Bowl.
Has he though? Because I do recall he was not the one holding the Lombardi
Trophy. He has been in
a
Super Bowl.
That doesn't mean that he won the Super Bowl.
Okay. I see what you're saying. He was there.
He was in attendance.
But was he? Thank you. That's where I was getting at. Was he?
Yes,
he
played in the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
But was he?
He didn't
there?
play well,
was
but yes,
he actually
he was
playing. Thank you. That's where I'm getting at. Y'all just so slow sometimes.
In all seriousness, I think they need to replace Matt Ryan. I think he's overrated. He's not doing good. I mean, Dan Quinn can't hold a lead to save his life. I mean, serious. I consider firing him. I mean, they're 0-3, starting off the season terribly. Let's consider some changes there.
I mean, especially because they got like I said, they got a good team there. You can't keep that good of a team together for very long. I mean, unless you're the Chiefs and you just pay them all like a bunch of money somehow. But I mean, really, you can't keep that team together with Ridley, with just like the list can go on for like the guys that they have there.
Well, yeah, I mean, even
you've got to put a good quarterback in that spot. You got to put a good coach in that spot that's gonna keep their mindset right and saying like we have a lead. Like they need to be like everyone was saying, what Taz Jr. not to be swinging on a 3-0 pitch. Like they need to be able to just keep their foot on the gas and keep scoring or do whatever they need to keep that lead. If you know that you're going to give up 3 touchdowns in the second half, keep scoring. Like do everything you can and push all the way.
I get teams that can Patriots a couple of years ago. You're up 35-0 third quarter. You can let off the gas because if they start coming back, you can keep on scoring. But again, like you said with the Falcons, if you know that you can't hold a lead, keep on scoring.
Yeah,
it's not disrespectful. People talk about it's disrespectful to keep on scoring. It's not if you can't hold a lead, and therefore
that's literally their job.
Teams.
Like literally their job to just score. So
do it well.
Yeah.
Well, as we were talking about this, I think I figured out what the Falcons are doing. They want Matt Ryan to fail so they can get Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
You
don't think that's it? I think it's a good fan theory. I'll put it in my blog.
Put it in the blog. All right. Moving on to the Seahawks Cowboys. This was a really good game. As Tony said before, and I agree, MVP year so far for Wilson. I know some people don't like that Mahomes isn't in the top 5 pick for MVP. And like I've said, I understand because, I mean, he has so many different weapons that, you know, it's hard to say that it's just him, even though I think a lot of it is him. Yeah, Wilson having, 5 touchdowns. He broke the record for most touchdowns in 3 games with 14. He broke Mahomes' record, in fact. So, Tony, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, I'm going to say it again. Russell Wilson is going to be MVP. 14 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, looking at his stats against the Cowboys, 315 yards. He's just playing solid. He's not just playing solid. He's playing great football. And the thing about Russell Wilson is, you look at all, quarterbacks like Mahomes, like Jackson, they're mobile. They can get out of the pocket. They can make decisions. Russell Wilson is a quarterback that can throw the ball good. I know that's a simple statement, but 14 touchdowns. Seattle is a playoff team. And this game was close again, but still Seattle came in and got it, took the win. But, man, shout out also to Dak Prescott, too. Dak played pretty well. 472 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Shout out to him as well. But notice Seattle, again, they're going to be a team to watch. And you said, Mahomes is not even in the top 5 in MVP. That's because he's not putting up stats. Stats matter. Yes, they do. But let me say this. Super Bowls matter more. Tom Brady, him and Drew Brees are aren't they in the fight for yardages, for record holding, for an NFL career? Okay, that's cool, but who's got the Super Bowls? It's Tom Brady. A couple years ago, you look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was leading in touchdowns. He was leading in yards and all that. Well, that's awesome, but who had the Super Bowls? Tom Brady. So Super Bowls matter, and I think that's the idea here. Yes, Mahomes might not have the yardage or the scores as Wilson has, but Chiefs have a better shot of going to the Super Bowl. Both teams can have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, but Mahomes, is Mahomes. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I think that would be a good Super Bowl matchup.
It would be awesome.
And even going back to what you said, yeah, Dak played a really good game. He's at almost 500 yards. I mean, he brought his team back. I mean, they were down at 30-15 at one point. And, Seahawks won the game 38-31. Seahawks scoring a late touchdown. I mean, really, the Seahawks should have been up more because of DK Metcalf trying to walk into the end zone and getting the ball hit out. But then Metcalf coming through at the end and scoring that touchdown to really seal the game. Yeah, really great game there. I think that's always a good matchup, the Seahawks and Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you're still picking him for MVP, right?
Yes. He is my MVP.
Russell Wilson.
For sure.
All right. I guess I'll cave. He's my MVP too.
It's not that I don't have trust in Patrick Mahomes. It's just Mahomes is playing great football. I mean, he is. His just stats aren't the best this year. I mean, we saw that last year. He wasn't MVP, but yet who won the Super Bowl and who couldn't win a playoff game and hasn't since. So,
but I mean, on the Chiefs team, who would I want as quarterback? Easily Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's the better quarterback, I want to say. I know a lot of people will say right now Russell Wilson is, and obviously, I mean, we're talking about him as an MVP and everything. But like I've said, and I'll continue to say, Mahomes is doing stuff that no other quarterback is doing, and he keeps doing it. Like it's insane. And so I think Russell Wilson will get MVP. He's another one of those guys that's just a solid guy, even on bad years when the Seahawks aren't really in the talks for, good teams or whatever. Like, Wilson's always been there, putting in the work and doing really good.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I say that Mahomes is more consistent, and Wilson, I think, is just going through a streak right now.
I don't know about that.
Temporary.
I don't know. Wilson always has been good.
Well, I mean, Have you?
Maybe not MVP style.
Yes, but
Okay, yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's temporary. Mahomes does this like every year, and Wilson is kind of like a breakout year. From my point of view,
I guess he's thrown 30 touchdowns in the last 3 years. He's done it 4 times in his career. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it should be fun watching the Seahawks team. And this is actually one of the first times that I've been excited to watch the Seahawks and not root against them, because usually I didn't like them, but lately I've been liking watching them play.
Same. Makes for good television. Hey, any team that beats the Patriots is a friend of mine, except for the Raiders and all the other teams in our division.
Moving on from that game, one of the most disappointing games of the week, in my opinion, was the Bengals and Eagles game. That game really disappointed me watching it. First
I think
tie.
any tie does.
Yeah, that's true. The first tie of the year. I think we talked about it last podcast or one of the other ones. They really need to change the rules. I mean, I know we live in a society where everybody wins. That should not be happening in, professional sports where they get paid millions of dollars and then, it's a tie. And, no, you got Burrow. He played pretty well. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wentz didn't play that great. 225, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Eagles could have easily pulled through and won multiple times, especially in overtime, but they just couldn't get it done. And then you had Elliott, who's a good field goal kicker. I'd say one of those that is up there, consistent, maybe not the best, but still a really good kicker. Lined up for the field goal, and it got pushed back because of a false start. And so they punted the ball, pretty much giving up the game in overtime with under a minute left. I didn't really agree with that call, but yeah. So game ended 23-23. Both teams are now 0, 2, and 1. Neither of them have gotten a win yet. 2 losses, 1 tie. Like I said, just kind of disappointing game.
Can I say something about Wentz?
Yeah.
They need to release him. This year, he's got twice as many interceptions as he does touchdowns. He hasn't done anything with the Eagles since he's really been in Philadelphia, has he? I mean, can you guys recall anything? I mean, Foles has done the work. It was not
Nick Foles
Carson
won
Wentz.
Yeah, Nick Foles won that. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Foles won
he's
that
just
Super Bowl,
injury prone. He's just not good. And they need to do something else. I think Peterson is a good coach. I mean, he was under Andy Reid at Kansas City. But, man, get rid of Wentz. Get somebody else in there. If the Eagles were smart, and this would just be common sense, they should have kept Nick Foles, as we talked about earlier. But, man, you have to get rid of Wentz. If you want to win, got to have somebody else in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's...
Well, I got some good news for you. Today they announced that they have no intention of benching Wentz.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Keep on losing, I guess.
Yeah, you think it, I mean...
They don't learn.
They're probably kicking themselves thinking about that with seeing Foles come into the game like he did for the Bears. Really should have kept him. Really should have at least had him on the bench in case of times like this. Even if they were to bench him again, at least keep him on the team so that way you could put him in and see if he's really, worth what he did in the Super Bowl. And, I mean, judging from the Bears game, he for sure is.
It depends on the game.
Yeah.
Foles is not consistent, but I still think in the Eagles organization, he can be consistent. So the Eagles kind of messed themselves up, and they messed up Foles at the same time.
Yeah, and Eagles play 49ers next week. So that might not be a good game. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule. They got a pretty tough schedule. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Dallas, Seattle. These 3 games are in a row. Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans. Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna have fun.
I don't think they're gonna win anytime soon, if at all.
Oh, well, that's later in the
they're
season.
not
But
gonna win
still,
any of
those 3 games are in an order: Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans. That's yeah.
That's
so
0-3 right there.
Eagles. I think our predictions. Can we all easily say that? Eagles are not going to the playoffs and not going to be good.
I don't know. They might not have an 0-16 season, but that's mainly because they just had this tie, so they might have an 0-15 season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And 1.
Yeah. No, that was really disappointing to watch. But a fun game to watch as a Chiefs fan was the Broncos and Bucks game.
Oh, yeah.
It's always fun to see the division teams losing. Brady looking back like his normal self, at least for the most part. Tony, what do you got on this game?
Yeah. I think Tom Brady might be working back in, 25 to 38, 297, 3 touchdowns, 28-10, just a simple, solid game. Brady comes out there, does fairly well against the Broncos. Of course, the Broncos are terrible this season. But, one thing to note here for Denver is, they lost their star quarterback, as we talked about last week. It's looking like, according to the NFL.com, they're going to play Ripien for the coming matchup. So Denver's going to go new quarterback. He did get some playing time last game against Tampa Bay, but this was a good game for Tampa Bay. Broncos only scored in the second quarter. Tom Brady coming in, showing who he was, and I think Brady's back. And we'll see. 2-1. They're 2-1 in the division. So, question, I guess, for you guys is, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but who is winning the NFC South? Buccaneers are number 1.
I think the Buccaneers want to be the Patriots, and it's just not happening. So I don't have them winning the NFC. I think it's down to the Packers or Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think I missed
heard
your
South,
question.
Right.
NFC South, yes.
I don't know. I think.
Yep, I misheard your question.
I think Tampa can do it. Saints aren't really holding up very much. So, 1-2, Panthers 1-2, Falcons 0-3. Saints can come back. It's Drew Brees. That's their only competition, but I don't really think it's much of a competition if Brady is getting back to how he was. Evans still looking like his favorite target. He had 2 touchdowns, and 2 of those 3 touchdowns. I really think the Bucs. I don't think they're going to do as good as we were predicting in the earlier podcast. I still don't think the Saints will end up stepping up enough to be better than a Brady-led team.
Or Aaron Rodgers-led team against that Sunday night game.
True.
But looking at the Buccaneers schedule, the next couple games they might have they're playing the Chargers this coming week. Then they go to play the Bears, and then the Packers, and then the Raiders. So those 3 games might have some competition. But then the last of the schedule, besides the Chiefs, everyone else, they play the Falcons twice. And, that's a guaranteed win. So it doesn't matter even if you're up 30-0 at halftime. But seriously, I think Buccaneers going to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be number 1 in the NFC. I think that's for Seattle. I think Seattle can beat anybody actually in the NFC right now. I can see it. But Brady, awesome to him getting back to where he needs to be. He's 43 years old. And he's playing better than some of these guys who are just making it in the NFL. One of the healthy. Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Like Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and even going back to the Broncos, it was good seeing the rookie Judy, being the top receiver for them so far. He's insane. He's quick. And, that was one of the key parts of their offense. It still is. but with like putting together that offensive team, like they were looking really good, and I think if they keep him for a few years, I think he'll be a dangerous threat for anybody they're playing against. But the Chiefs, that'll be a good matchup to watch for a few years, seeing our defense take on him because he's quick.
If you say so. Who did you say won the division? Or who do you think's going to win the division? Tampa or New Orleans?
I say Tampa as well. I mean, just how everything is. I mean, I think the Buccaneers are going to lose to the Chiefs, and they could possibly lose to the Packers. But other than that, I mean, that puts them, 13-3?
They're going to.
So.
Yeah, I had them at 11-5. So
I think they win against the Bears. I think they do. I think they beat the Bears week 5. But seriously, I think
how dare you?
Playoff team, playoffs for sure, but not
Buccaneers Saints.
Buccaneers Saints NFC. Oh, playoffs? Yes, yeah, I see it. Yeah,
playoffs
for sure. Yeah.
Playoffs.
I think Falcons will make it, but I mean, what really hurt them was losing to the Raiders.
Yep.
Like it made me look at their team completely different. I mean, my Raiders are doing all right. I mean, especially because they beat the Saints, but still, like, yeah, I think Tampa's going to take the division.
Yep.
I hate to admit it, but you're probably right.
As usual. Speaking of Saints, the final game that we'll talk about, before getting into the Chiefs game, is Packers versus Saints. First of all, I'd like to point out, and I'll bring up this later as we're talking about the primetime games. Tony and I were right. Marvin was wrong on this one. Just like to put that out there, judging from last podcast. Us both picking Packers and Marvin picking Saints. But yeah, that was a really good game to the very end. Another great primetime game from the NFL. Like we said last week, they're doing a really good job planning those out. Marvin, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yes, I chose the Saints. Do I regret it? No. Did I think the Packers were going to win the whole time? Yes, but I would never admit it. The Saints actually did pretty good. I thought they did slightly better than the week before, from what I can tell. As for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers threw 32 times, had 21 completions, and 283 passing yards, while also throwing for 3 passing touchdowns, had 1 sack. And Drew Brees, I thought, actually had a pretty good game. He had 36 passes, 29 completions, 288 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 2 sacks. I thought the Saints did pretty good. The game was back and forth, so it really could have gone either way. But I think the Saints just got deflated in the end, and I thought Drew Brees was starting to show his age a little bit. I'm getting kind of worried that this is his last season, and I don't want that to be the case, but it's probably
both had a good running game.
But I thought it was a good game.
And receiving.
Yes, that one play when Alvin Kamara Alvin Kamara, he just found a way to get in the end zone. Like the Packers just couldn't tackle him for nothing.
He didn't have a great rushing game, but you look at his numbers as a receiver. He was the top receiver for Breeze. He had 139 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, as a receiver, man, he played really good.
Yeah, I think Kamara's since Thomas is out.
Yeah,
I think the Saints are going to be looking to Kamara for running, but also, as we saw Sunday night, for passing. He played like a receiver. Sorry.
Yeah, the Saints are No, you're fine. The Saints are definitely missing Thomas right now. Kamara has become a good receiver, and Sanders actually had a pretty good
56
game
56 yards, touchdown.
What'd you say?
I agree with you, Marvin. I think this could have gone either way, honestly. Judging from the game, wasn't it tied 27-27?
Thank you.
But just Packers came out. I mean, Breeze had a good game. I mean, he actually had a really great game. He only missed 7 passes. He was 29 to 36. But Packers come out on top. And again, what Megatron said earlier, I think the perception of, the Saints lost to the Raiders. Oh, the Saints are trash now. Well, I mean, they had a bad game here. They played a really good team this week for week 3. And we'll see if they can come out in week 4 and beat Detroit. I think that would be pretty easy for them. But yeah.
Would you say the Saints are in trouble?
I don't think they're
after losing back-to-back
in
games.
trouble. I mean, they go play Detroit, LA, Carolina, and Chicago in the next 4 games. The Chargers.
Which LA?
They win the next 3 games.
Oh, that's an easy win.
They're going to be going 4-2. I don't think they're in trouble. Again, like we stated before, I think they go to the playoffs 11-5, 10-6. But I don't think they're in trouble. Do you?
Not bad. After the Raiders game, I did. Packers game, they put up a better fight. You say they're playing Detroit next, right? I think I'll turn the season around. And Thomas isn't out for the whole season.
Do not believe so. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I don't think he is. Well, once he gets back, I think that'll help them a lot too.
I think it really depends on this next game because it's against Detroit. It should be an easy win. Raiders should have been an easy win. Like you said, I think that one was a big one for them to where, okay, that was not good at all. And then we played the Packers. Packers are a good team. So, currently undefeated too. So, I mean, that one's more understandable. Now it goes to Detroit, which got their first win since, what did I say, Tony? I said it the other day. It was like October 28th, I think, of last year.
Ouch.
And because I saw a stat where it said every team in every major sports league, including like WNBA, had gotten a win. Everybody except the Lions since that point. So they finally got their first win. If Saints lose that game, I for sure think they're in trouble. I mean, that's when it's going to be hard to turn the season around. Losing to the Raiders, that's really rough. Losing to the Packers, more understandable. And it was a close game, 37-30 Packers. And then, I mean, this is off from what we were just talking about, but, I mean, look at Rodgers this year. He threw 3 touchdowns. Still no interceptions so far this season from him. He's playing really good so far.
Yeah, Rodgers has always been like that. Like, he's always the touchdown guy, but yet you look at his interceptions and they're like 4, 5 at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, how? But, I mean, making wise decisions. I mean, you don't have to throw the ball. I like that. Just sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt her. I just want to say this. I like it when quarterbacks, and I saw this with Patrick Mahomes, you don't forcing the ball. I mentioned to you this to you, Megatron, is when quarterbacks force the ball, things are going to happen. And I was watching Mahomes don't do that. He didn't do this. Rolling out of the pocket, willing to take it himself. And I think Rodgers, he may be this way too. Just making wise decisions that eliminates interceptions, that eliminates turnovers, that eliminates losing the game.
Would you say Packers are Super Bowl bound, or something like that? Because I think they're playing on the same level the Seahawks are right now. Like, you can't really touch them.
I think it's too early for me to say, anyways. Like I said, undefeated, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I could kind of see it. Yeah, that's true.
Because Rodgers is playing lights out right now, like Wilson. Although Wilson's on a higher level, Rodgers is right up there too.
Yeah.
As far as the NFC is concerned.
What do you think, Tony?
I agree with you, Megatron. I think it's too early to tell. I mean, they're a great team. I just want to see more from them. I just want to see more. They played the Vikings. Uh, they played the Vikings. They put up a good fight, against New Orleans this past week. First game, they also put a beating on Detroit as well. So I want to see a little bit more from them, and we're going to see that. They play Atlanta next week. They play Tampa Bay, Houston, Vikings again, Chicago in their matchup. So I just want to see a little bit more, and then I make my decision. Are they playoffs? Definitely. Are they Super Bowl? We'll see.
Do you think it comes down to the Packers and Seahawks?
I can see that one.
Or still too early to tell?
But I don't know. I mean, they're like Bears. Bears are playing really good too. So I don't know. We'll see.
I think they're just getting lucky, in my opinion. There's no way the Bears should be 3-0. I mean, they played the Falcons, right? But who was the first two teams they played?
Let's see.
Bears played Detroit and the New York Giants. So all of their teams have been not very good teams.
Okay.
And all their wins have been
my point exactly.
5 or less. 5 or less. So
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to point out, that all of them have been close games. So yeah, that's true. We'll talk about that too in just a few minutes, because I want to go through all the undefeated teams and see your guys' thoughts on how long they'll hold up and if they'll win their next game. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump real quick through a Chiefs recap of this last game. Amazing game. I loved it so much, especially when all the commentators, the betting line for them was Ravens are going to win. The fan vote said Ravens were going to win by 51% before the game. And, Chiefs were the underdogs going into this game. It's crazy since, we won the Super Bowl and are undefeated so far. But, that made me even more excited for the
12-game winning streak.
And you see Patrick Mahomes coming out of the game as the quickest player to 10,000 yards in just 34 games. Then you look over to Jackson, the MVP from last year, the quarterback that, might be better than Mahomes, according to some people. Did not do well at all.
According to a Chiefs fan,
he did
amazing.
Great.
He played his best game. He just never looked better. But according to a Raven fan, they'd rather have Matt Castle.
That's right.
No, Matt Castle.
Joe Flacco.
That's true, actually.
No,
yeah,
Joe Flacco
Flacco would have played better. But notice, Patrick Mahomes lights out. Edwards-Helaire, not his best game. He did okay. But, man, Mahomes, I don't know. Is there ever going to be a time that we're going to stop talking about Mahomes? No.
In like 11 years.
More like 15.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess that is true.
Seriously, man.
It's under a 12-year contract.
Every game. He is consistent. He is making plays. He'll roll to the left and he'll twist his body as he's throwing the ball. And it's just crazy. There's never, ever been a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. And we see in the game Monday night.
What jump fake thing? Where he jumped and faked the throw and then landed and ran for a little bit, then threw it. He's just all over the place, man. And it's great. We ran all over their defense. And, I said it last week that I've been waiting for a game like this because the first 2 games, we haven't really done anything compared to what we did last year. I know it's just 2 games. I know, it's a long season, so you don't want to, go completely all out, fighting every single game, pushing the hardest, but like you got to understand that there's going to be games where you're not, going to do the very best. But still, in the first 2 games, I wasn't really seeing it from the Chiefs from what we saw last year. But this was the game that I definitely saw it in. I mean, you even had Eric Fisher catching a touchdown. Like, we were running plays that we wouldn't be able to if it was just a normal, close game. You had Watkins and Ward both played really good despite being last-minute decisions for whether they were going to play or not. I mean, while Ravens may be a good team and Jackson a good quarterback, I think they're overhyped. I might be saying a lot, but I really think they're overhyped. And
thank you.
I mean, Mahomes is 3-0 over Jackson now, and when this is supposed to be a quarterback duel, this is supposed to be, the next Brady versus Breeze, the next, Aaron Rodgers versus, different ones like that. Jackson can't compete, and I mean, he even said himself that this was their kryptonite. It's Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Music to my ears.
He just astounds me every time. And you know how I feel, about a certain team. But but no, seriously. Honestly,
clever.
All I have to say is good things about him. He's making great decisions. He's making plays that are. He's looking better than Tom Brady in the fact of just how he plays football. Now, overall career, Brady has him over, but when Mahomes gets 43, I think we're going to see the GOAT, the real GOAT, from Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I second that. All in favor?
And Chiefs playing the Patriots Sunday, so that's going to be a good game. I like that game.
I think y'all say that the Ravens are overhyped. I think the Patriots are still
and he's
overhyped.
Not playing that well.
Cam Newton has been playing against bad teams. The first good team he played. Thank you. The first good team he played against was the Seahawks.
Yeah, no,
and he got
I've got to admit I've for sure been overhyping.
I think the Chiefs got
Cam
that game
and
easily.
The Patriots, but I don't see that stopping for me anytime soon because I really enjoyed watching him play. I know, Marvin, you're not on the same page with that, with rooting for the Patriots in any way. After Tom left, I really like watching the Patriots. They've always been a team that I've enjoyed watching because of how good they are. But then, I mean, you have the cheating scandals and different stuff like that obviously they're not, my favorite team and everything. But I've definitely enjoyed watching Cam and the Patriots play this season, even if they are overhyped and even if I'm one of the ones that overhyped them.
Well, I can't lie. I've watched a couple of their games, and they're doing pretty good, and I do like watching them.
I think Cam Newton
like
is.
The Ravens are just overhyped
for no
reason.
His stats are not really that good, but I mean, I guess they're winning. I like watching the Patriots. I just don't like Cam Newton. I'm not a big Cam Newton fan. I just, I'll come out and say this. I'm not big on just his demeanor, but it's whatever. But I mean, he's winning ball games, so I mean that's really all that matters. But until Sunday, in which they will lose, yes. But
until Sunday.
But no, I kind of agree with you. They're a little overhyped because it's the Patriots. I mean, they're the NFL for the past 2 decades. So, I mean, I get it, but yet, let's move on to the real winners here.
Yeah, I feel like that's how the Chiefs are going to be for a lot of people. Already are for a lot of people. Honestly, I've seen on social media that people are tired of the Chiefs being good, which I understand because when the Patriots were really good, you're like, okay, we need somebody else. But now the Chiefs are really good. As a Chiefs fan, I don't mind. I like it, but I understand for other people when they get really annoyed with always seeing a team win. But, I mean, this is what the Chiefs have needed for a while. This is what Kansas City has needed for a while. I mean, you had the Royals making that push in 2014, 2015, and then kind of dropping off because like I said, they made a push for it. This is Kansas City making a push for years to come.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Chiefs fans, we've waited a long time for this. Well, as for the other teams, they can keep waiting. I mean, we waited 50 years for that Super Bowl, and we have no plans of stopping anytime soon. That's how I'm looking at it. If hateful comments are to be a thing, I welcome them very much.
Moving on from the recap, let's go to what to look forward to for Week 4. First of all, as an NFL fan, what I'd like to do with this, you guys can add on your other thoughts or different questions like that. But first, I wanted to go through the undefeated teams and just quick yes or no, whether they will win or not. First of all, Bills, they're going against the Raiders this week. Do they win? Do they stay undefeated? Tony?
Yes, they win.
Yes.
Josh Allen, great quarterback.
Yeah, they're definitely one of those that I think is a legitimate undefeated team. Next, really?
Yeah. You know they're going to play the Chiefs, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, but I mean, still, I think they're like a legitimate.
Chiefs are going to win that game. I'm just.
Besides playing the Chiefs, that are the best team. Like, not saying that biased, but like, we really are. So aside from that,
no, I get you. They're better than the Patriots.
Yeah, for sure.
They're definitely better than the Patriots.
Going against the Titans, do they stay undefeated? And actually, wait, before you say yes or no, Titans are also undefeated.
Aren't they both under? They're both under. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Titans stay undefeated. Tony?
No, Steelers with my man Big Ben is going to come out. He's going to win in Nashville. Steelers are going to be going 4-0.
Yeah, I'm picking Steelers on this one.
Nope.
I don't know. I'm not impressed with the Titans.
Come on, guys.
Seeing the last few games, I don't think they're one of the, like I said, legitimate 3-0 teams. Yeah, and you know how that turned out.
Another Packers Saints situation. I'm going to win this time.
Speaking of Packers,
Packers,
another undefeated team going against the Falcons. I think this one's pretty easy. Do they win this game? Do they stay undefeated? Okay.
Packers are at home. They're at Lambeau. One of the
Packers,
most iconic stadiums. They're winning. They're going to go 4-0.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you have the stadiums like that are still going to be home field advantage, even if they don't have fans there, even if they don't have a lot. Lambeau's just that kind of place, you know. So, yeah. I have Packers winning that game. Bears, Colts. Foles, they announced, will be starting the game. Will Bears hold it up? Like we said, they haven't really been playing the best teams. Do they win it?
Yes.
No.
Nope. I think Foles is going to come out. He's starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming out and he's going to show I'm the quarterback.
Yeah.
We're 4-0. I mean, the Bears haven't looked. Now again, I understand that their teams, they haven't played good teams, but starting out 4-0, that's gonna put some hype in you.
And they haven't had Foles starting until this game.
Yeah, that's true, right?
So yeah, I'm picking Bears winning it.
I'll give you that.
Seahawks, Dolphins.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Fitzmagic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm for sure picking Seahawks on that one. So far, besides Titans, I've got all the undefeated teams staying undefeated, and that brings us to the final team, and we'll we'll transition into what to look forward to as a Chiefs fan as we look at the Chiefs versus Patriots. Do they stay undefeated? Does Super Cam come in here and win the game, or do the Chiefs win?
There will be no Super Cam.
Chiefs are going to win
on
obviously.
Sunday.
Yeah,
there will only be Mahomes versus the Patriots.
Super Cam.
Yeah, that's true.
Super Cam retired in 2015. Just to let you know,
Newton was good. He's just not anymore.
Just hasn't gotten the memo.
And you kind of wish that Bill Belichick would look into that, but I guess
AFC
not.
West team messed him up.
Yeah. I mean, this is a obviously different looking Patriot team in some ways, but this has always been a tough game for the Chiefs. I mean, even on the facing their defense. Is it going to be the same this time? Do you guys think this will be that kind of tough game, or do you think since it's Cam in there and since the Patriots don't have Brady, do you think it'll be, like a Monday night game, kind of a blowout?
I think after what we just did to the Ravens, Patriots don't stand a chance.
Honestly, be a better team than the Patriots. So, I don't think the Chiefs are going to have a problem.
Number one defense, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, after that win over the Ravens,
nope,
I don't think there's a team on the schedule that we really have to worry about.
No.
They were the big one for me, them and Saints, and now they're both. I'm not scared of them anymore.
Score predictions?
We're the better team, which I like.
Marvin?
Yeah.
For Chiefs and Patriots. 31.
35-17.
Pretty close to mine. I got 35-20. I think Cam will score a few touchdowns. I could see them scoring more than that, but obviously, like we said, I still see a Chiefs win out of this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, also looking forward to week 4. The predictions for the primetime games. Again, NFL doing a pretty good job. But looking back to last week, I was 3-0 on picks, just like to say that. Marvin and Tony, both 2-1. So it's pretty good.
We'll keep that for the season. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I wish we would have started it sooner, but
it's all right.
So first of all, Thursday night, Broncos Jets. That should be a pretty good game. Again, like not the greatest teams. So even when the NFL's, making this, like, they put two teams that aren't good, but at least they're playing against each other. At least it's not like Seahawks, Jets, or, But Broncos versus Jets. Jets are so bad this season that former Lions QB Dan Orlovsky said that his 0-16 Lions team could have beaten this Jets team. So that's pretty rough.
That was the quote of the week.
That was awesome.
What do you guys have this game? Score and winner.
As much as I hate to admit it, Broncos are somehow, some way going to win.
What's your score prediction on that?
Jets are just trash. 3-0. No. I think I'll give them
17-9 Broncos.
Ooh, close game. I got it 28-10 Broncos. Yeah, I think for sure Broncos are gonna win it.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game because you got quarterbacks. You got a new quarterback coming in for Denver, Sam Darnold, not the best. So I think it's gonna be a little lower.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, you got Judy there on the Broncos. I think he'll do pretty good. Sunday night's game, Eagles 49ers. I think that'll be a pretty good game considering injuries from 49ers. If it was the 49ers Super Bowl team, I think this would be a complete blowout with how Eagles have been playing. As I said, playing in one of the most disappointing games of this season for me. Mullins played a good game as quarterback, and the 49ers didn't really show a sign of being worse due to injuries. What do you guys have for this one? Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that. I was like,
It was the Giants, though.
Still, played a pretty good game all around.
I'm thinking the same mindset heading into this game. It's the Eagles, so
49ers.
I don't know.
Scores?
I got 49ers winning.
$35-7 49ers.
I got 35-14 49ers. Yeah, I think
49ers pulled out.
Win it. And then final primetime game, Monday night, Falcons-Packers. I'm really hopeful about this one, considering the past two games for the Falcons. They've been letting it slip lately. I don't think they'll do that this game, but I also don't think they'll win. I think this will be a better game for them. I think they'll hopefully have that mindset to, actually do good and not just, like we were saying, let their foot off the gas. What do you guys think about this game?
The exact opposite. What you think? I think after back-to-back embarrassing losses,
I agree with Marvin.
Falcons Packers are going to run all over them.
Again, stated before, can't hold a lead. Matt Ryan is terrible. They need a new coach. They need a new everything. Packers stomp. I agree. I'll use the same term. Stomp all over them. I think they win. I think they win 35-3.
Ooh.
Okay. 35-10.
Oh,
change
it
up
cruel.
A little bit.
I like it.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is.
That's still cruel, but I like it still.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you got, Marvin?
Enough said. I'd say 41.
Wow.
To.
I'm going for
10.
a close game.
Packers.
Like I said, I don't think the Falcons will let it slip again. They might. I'm going 35-28.
Oof, 2.
Packers.
Mm-mm.
I'm picking a closer game. I know that's. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
because of what's been happening lately. But at the same time, I'm hopeful that the Falcons will at least step it up, make it a good game. I mean, we keep talking about the primetime games, how good they've been. I mean, I guess the Dolphins game wasn't really super close, but the matchup was good. I'm hoping this matchup stays good. I'm hoping it's a close game. I don't completely see it. I'm going out on a limb with this 35-28 prediction, but I'm still saying Packers win. I don't think the Falcons are going to step it up enough to beat the undefeated Packers team, especially, like you said, with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And it's at Lambeau, right?
Yeah, no, I for sure don't think they'll win.
Yeah, the Falcons don't stand a chance.
All right. Any other things you guys like to talk about looking forward to week 4?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, to wrap it up, coming up in KC area sports over the next week, Missouri plays at Tennessee this Saturday at 11, hopefully turning their season around. Sporting KC plays this Saturday against Houston after the game against Colorado was postponed due to COVID on Colorado's side. And then, as we talked about, Chiefs, Patriots Sunday afternoon. Really looking forward to that game. Thank you, Marvin and Tony, for your comments. thoughts.
Thank you.
And thank you for the fans for listening and supporting us. It really means a lot.
Thanks.
This has been another KC Sports Meme podcast.